APNvideo.com is on the air. Today we're coming to you from Surprise Stadium, the winter home of the Kansas City Royals and the Texas Rangers. And today it's home to the 2018 MSBL World Series on APN Sports. We're in the 25 and over Cactus Division, and a pair of 1-1 teams as Team Alaska plays battle against the host team, the Kansas City Royals. And I'm Jeff Lowry with APNvideo.com. So glad you could join us. Temperature in the mid-80s here today on this afternoon affair. A beautiful day for our national pastime as the Team Alaska coming in. They've got a great runs allowed. They've only given up 8 runs through the first 2 games. They lost to the Red Hawks. So too did Kansas City Royals. But the Alaska team won against the Marlins 4-3 in a good pitching matchup, while the Royals are coming off a 16-6 victory over Yetis. We'll be back with a play-by-play in just a moment. Well, you're getting a look at the right-hander, James Jones. He'll be the starting pitcher here today for the Kansas City Royals in the 25 and over Cactus Division. Just an absolutely gorgeous day for baseball. It'll be Kevin Johnson to lead things off. Let's take a look at the starting lineups brought to you by APNvideo.com. Leading off, the second baseman, Kevin Johnson. Batting second, the left fielder, Eric Cooper. Zach Peak will play shortstop. He'll bat third. Jerome Johnson catches and bats fourth. Today's starting pitcher for Team Alaska is Todd Jeffress. Rick Campbell will play first base. Dustin Murr is batting seventh and center. Munoz batting eighth, the DH. Brownsville at third, batting ninth, and the 10th place hitter, Brady Longren. First up is going to be Kevin Johnson out of Olympia, Washington. He's an infielder, outfielder. His occupation is an actor. Proudest moment on the field, winning conference tournament championship in 2010 and being awarded the most valuable player. And he's going to reach on an error by the first baseman. His proudest moment off the field says he is having his parents watching him graduate college. So I'll bring up Eric Cooper out of Fairbanks, Alaska. He is a strength and conditioning coach with the Fairbanks Ice Dog amateur hockey team. Proudest moment on the field says his wife giving birth to Archer and Axel, and he wanted to say hello to his lovely wife, Allison. So a runner at first base. Kevin Johnson reaches on an error. He's going to try to steal, and the throwdown is in time. They got him, 1 down. The outfield looks like Zudell in left field, Lentz center, Webb in right. And as we mentioned, doing the catching, Brandon Adams, and the tall right-hander, James Jones on the mound. So Eric Cooper trying to get something going here in the first inning. The leadoff hitter reaching on an error is thrown out by the Kansas City catcher on a stolen base attempt. And now Eric Cooper for the 1-1 Team Alaska. They'll play. Oh, that's strike 3 called. Well, I'll tell you what. He might have got the benefit of the call. That was a borderline pitch. It was over the plate, but it looked a little bit low, and now the batter is going to be the shortstop, Zach Peak. So 2 down here in the top of the first inning for Team Alaska. And a swing and a short pop-up back of shortstop, and that ball's going to drop in for a base hit. So Zach Peak, who I think may be one of the top players in this division, and now coming to the plate, a very talented catcher in Jerome Johnson out of Fairbanks, Alaska. Played for Tacoma Community College. He was a manager at the Mainscape Alaska Landscaping. Wrestles polar bears for training in the wintertime. He wants to say hello to Jaslyn and Juliet. Big, strong right-hander, drives in a lot of runs for this team. He takes inside, and the count is even on Johnson at 1 ball and 1 strike. Jerome Johnson. In there, strike 2 called. Johnson trying to extend the inning for on-deck hitter and starting pitcher Todd Jeffress. And he goes opposite field. He got jammed on it. And he showed some strength right there. A good job of hitting. And that will extend the inning for the starting first baseman, Todd Jeffress. Well, three of the first four have reached here for Team Alaska. Kevin Johnson led off the inning by reaching on an error. He was thrown out on a stolen base, but peaked. And this ball is hit out in the left center. That's going to drop in for a hit. Here's the center fielder in shallow left center throwing to the plate. You saw some good speed there. And scoring is Zach Peete from second base on an RBI hit by Todd Jeffress. And so Team Alaska draws first blood, and now the batter is going to be Rick Campbell. Courtesy runner for Jerome Johnson out at second base. And that'll be Eric Cooper. So here's Rick Campbell. Ricky Campbell, hometown out of Fairbanks, Alaska, lifeguard at Fort Wainwright, Alaska. Proudest moment on the field, winning the 2011 MSBL Alaska State Championship. Managed the Hoodoo Brewers of the Fairbanks, Alaska to 13 MSBL City Championships. Played college ball at San Diego City College. Girlfriend Lonnie Leidy and child Nathan plans on moving to Scottsdale next spring, pursuing a career in physical therapy. He drills one down the right field line for a base hit. Ricky Campbell coming around third and scoring, and Team Alaska looking pretty good here in the first inning. Campbell drives in the second run, and Team Alaska leads Kansas City 2-0. Well, here's Murr out of Anchorage, Alaska, installer with renewal by Anderson. Competitive ball player with only 10 years playing men's baseball. His proudest moment, children Zeke and Abby being born, and wife Sarah Murr. Drummer for the bands Thera and City in Ashes. And that ball hit him, and boy, I'll tell you, just things have fallen apart here for the Kansas City Royals. That'll bring up Manny Munoz, one of the designated hitters in the lineup here today for Team Alaska. Both teams come in here with a record of 1-1. The windup and the pitch. And the breaking ball is in there for a strike, and it's 0-1 on Manny Munoz. Robert Runesville is on deck, and a breaking ball catches the inside corner. No balls, 2 strikes. 2 out. Bases loaded. And a fly ball out in the shallow center field, and this ball is going to be caught. A spectacular diving, sprawling catch by Kent Lentz in center field. He saves 2 runs, ends the inning. Starting pitcher today for Team Alaska, Todd Jeffress out of Lubbock, Texas, a flight attendant with Alaskan Airlines. He played for Wayland Baptist College, a former Athletes in Action player in the Alaska Baseball League, where he threw snowballs to practice pitching in the winter. Laugh out loud. The Royals will send up Lentz, Adams, Webb, followed by Zudell, Garza, McCoy, McGill, Rojas, James Jones, the starting pitcher, and shortstop Aaron Levinson. James Jones in the number 9 spot, sharing that with Angel Velasquez. So Kent Lentz going to work against Todd Jeffress. Both teams come in with a record of 1 win and 1 loss, and the first pitch is swung on and fouled back. A good cut by Lentz, and it's 0-1. Well, he made a tremendous play, saved a couple of runs, ended the inning. The top of the first inning, in which Alaska sent a total of 8 men to the plate and played at 2. 2-1 the count on the leadoff hitter for the Kansas City Royals. Both teams, as I said, coming in with identical 1-1 records. And it's outside 3-1. Except Team Alaska, you talk about runs allowed. That is how they determine tiebreakers in the MSBL World Series. It's not how many runs or run differential. It's runs allowed, which actually is probably the fair way to do it, because some teams can just run up a score. But runs allowed, you don't have total control over that. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Kent Lentz, Brandon Adams, Jackson Webb, the first 3. And another pop-up out of play. Good job. A good battle up there. Lentz versus Jeffress. Bottom of the first inning, 2-0 Alaska in the field. Fly ball, center field, hit well, but drifting back and making the routine catch is the center fielder Dustin Murr, out number 1. Second place hitter for the Royals is going to be Brandon Adams. Well, you got this Kansas City Royals team donning the uniforms of the the real Major League Baseball Kansas City Royals, and playing in their spring training home. That's kind of a great feeling. You get the stadium game and then in your home team's spring training facility. There's ground ball up the middle. Nice backhanded play. He knocked it down, and it would have been a close play at first. They'll give him a base hit. I'll bring up the right fielder, Jackson Webb. We got a game next week. We'll be at Sloan Park in Mesa, and a team called the Chicago North Cubs will be playing there. And I know that many of those players coming from the Chicago area very excited to play. As this ball is hit, and a diving play by Kevin Johnson. He throws him out at first base. What a fine defensive play by the Team Alaska second baseman. Now the cleanup hitter is the left fielder, Jason Zudell. Swing and a miss. Good sinking pitch. Strike 1. Third baseman Andy Garza on deck for the Kansas City Royals. They trail 2-0 here in the bottom of the first inning. Todd Jeffress with a runner at second base and 2 out, and a broken bat line drive caught by the shortstop, Zach Peak. And at the end of 1 inning of play, it's Alaska 2 and the Kansas City Royals nothing. This is the 2018 MSBL World Series on APN Sports. Well, we head now to the top of the second inning. Team Alaska will be sending up Robert Roundsville, nicknamed Roundsy. He's out of Kodiak, Alaska. First pitch from Jones is taken for a ball, and it's 1 ball and no strike. Brady Longren is on deck. And here's a rocket right at the shortstop. He was able to snag it and then threw it away, and that's an error. Well, here's Brady batting for the first time. Runner at first, nobody out here in the top of the second inning. He's the owner of the Alaska Bat Company, won 3 state championships at 3 different levels. He's played baseball for 5 different colleges, including Southwestern, Chula Vista, California, earned a bachelor's degree in science degree at Colorado State University in Pueblo, Colorado. And apparently he is out at first base. And that's going to be a 4-6-3 double play, and there's 2 down. We go back to the top of the order. Here's Kevin Johnson, who made a sensational Marucci big play of the day on a ground ball in the hole at second base. He reached on an error in the first. We're in the top of the second inning. Team Alaska, those pretty sharp uniforms, that navy blue with the gold. They lead it 2-0. They got RBI hits from starting pitcher Todd Jeffress and the big-time hitter in Rick Campbell. And a hot shot to the shortstop, and he is able to field and throw him out in a quick inning for the offense of Alaska. Bottom half of the second coming up. 2-0 Alaska. This is the 28th annual Men's Senior Baseball League's World Series. Check that out, the 31st annual. Andy Garza to start things off, bottom half of inning number 2 in this 31st annual MSBL World Series 2018. Second inning of work for Jeffress, and he delivers a strike, and that evens the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. It'll be the number 5, 6, and 7 hitters That's strike two. Good pitch there by Todd Jeffress. Garza, McCoy, and McGill. Jeffress working very quickly, and he jammed him on that one. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The pitch. Up and in, 2-2. Well, again, Garza fouling off a tough pitch. He's jamming him inside. Let's see if he does it again. He does. Broken back. Ground ball down to third. Gobbled up there, and the throw across in time. Nice stretch by Rick Campbell. And a nice job by Rob down at the hot corner. And out number 1 here in the home half of the second inning. And the batter is going to be Brandon McCoy, who takes a first offering for a strike, and it's 0-1. Chad McGill, the 7th place hitter, is on deck. Here's a ball slapped to the shortstop, and it's gobbled up there by Peak, and he throws him out 2 down. So a good play by the third baseman, Runesville, and another good play by Peak at shortstop. 2 up, 2 down for McGill. Nobody on here in the bottom of the second inning, and the first pitch is taken high, ball 1. Doing the catching, Jerome Johnson. And out of play, and a couple of strikes on Chad McGill. I don't know if he was too happy with that last strike call by our home plate umpire, Satch Davison. Here's the pitch. And a swing and a foul tip. Unable to hold on was Johnson. 2 strikes on McGill. Nobody on. 2 out. Bottom of the second inning. Kansas City at the plate trailing by 2. And a swing and a miss. That is the first strikeout of the day for Todd Jeffress. And at the end of 2, from Surprise, 2-0 Team Alaska. Getting a wide shot at Surprise Stadium. The beautiful clouds overhead. Sun in and out. Probably will happen all afternoon long. We go to the top of the third inning. Alaska leads it 2-0. Both teams come in with a record of 1-1. We're in the 25 and over Cactus Division. It'll be the 2, 3, and 4 hitters for Team Alaska. It'll be Eric Cooper, Zach Peak, and catcher Jerome Johnson. Third inning of work for James Jones, who settled in nicely after really struggling after 2 men were out in the first. He gave up 4 straight hits and a hit batsman 2 runs. But since then, he has set down 4 in a row as this one's fouled off to the left side. Cooper, a strikeout victim in the first. He sends a fly ball in the shallow left field. That ball's going to drop in. No, it will be caught. A nice long-running catch by Jason Zudell, and there's 1 down. Nice play. We've seen some dazzling defense in this contest so far. Zach Peak will be the 1-out hitter. He had a single and a run scored in the 2-run first for Alaska, and they lead it 2-0 here in the third. I'll tell you, you start getting into the meat part of this Alaska order, and you're dealing with some guys that can rake. Not to say that Johnson and Cooper can't, but the middle part of this lineup, you got 3, 4, 5, and 6. I mean, even Rick Campbell batting 6. I mean, in a lot of teams, he's probably the 3rd or 4th hitter, and he's got himself in the 6th position here. You got a lot of quality in this Team Alaska lineup. They haven't scored a lot of runs. In fact, they've only scored 6. They've given up 8. And this one's grounded to the right side on cue. Zach Peak is 2 for 2, the Alaskan shortstop. Well, that breaks a string of 5 in a row set down by James Jones. That's hit number 5. They had 4 of the 5 hits back in the first. Now Jerome Johnson, the catcher, he's 1 for 1. And there goes the runner, and the throwdown, not in time. Safe. Well, I'll tell you what, that is a situation. If you notice, Aaron Levinson reached out to get the throw instead of letting the ball travel to the glove, to the base. And I'll tell you what, he lets that ball travel to the base, and he's able to catch and apply the tag, most likely he would have been done. That's a swing and a miss. Jerome Johnson is out on strikes. That is the second punch out of the day for James Jones, the starting pitcher for Kansas City. There's 2 down, and now Todd Jeffers. He had one of the 2 RBI singles in the first inning. And he got under this one, pops it up. Could be trouble, but the third baseman drifts out, and he hauls it in. Andy Garza recording the last out of the third inning. We head to the bottom half of the third with Alaska leading Kansas City 2-0. And you're watching the 31st Annual Men's Senior Baseball League's World Series on APN Video Sports. Jeff Lowry, so glad you could join us. We go to the bottom of the third inning. Nice play by Garza to end the inning for the defense of the Royals. And first up here will be the bottom 3, Jeremiah Rojas and James Jones and Aaron Levison. Good fastball called strike. I'll tell you what, I think Todd Jeffers, the first 2 pitches he's delivered in this inning, harder than anything we've seen already. That's a swing and a miss, his second consecutive strikeout, and the throwdown is in time, 1 down. Both pitchers with 2 punch-outs. Rick Campbell doing the job down there at first base, and the next batter up is going to be Jones, and he fouls that one out of play. And apparently Jones went around on that pitch, and it's quickly 0-2. Todd is throwing harder now than he did through the first 2 innings. That one is upstairs. Jeffers on the mound, Johnson behind the plate. At strike 3 called, he painted the outside corner. What a tremendous pitch, 2 down. He has struck out 3 in a row, and the batter is Aaron Levison. First time up for the final hitter in the lineup, Aaron Levison. Todd Jeffers up a notch on the velocity and quickly ahead 0-2 and trying to strike out his 4th consecutive Kansas City Royal. He sights a sign from Johnson, the 0-2 pitch, and a good job by Levison fouling that one off. Here's the pitch. And this one is hit to the right side where Kevin Johnson charges, throws off balance to first, got him, inning over. So we are heading to the top of the 4th inning, the 31st Annual MSBL World Series on APN Sports. 2-0 Alaska. We go to the top of the 4th inning. Hey, getting a look at the banners of the Major League Baseball teams on this beautiful, breezy. I think as a fielder, you want to play on a day like today more than you would a clear sky, because I'll tell you, the sun is, that high sky, it is really tough to judge a fly ball. So Rick Campbell will start it off. Murr and Munoz to follow. Top of the 4th inning. Alaska off to a good start, getting some quality pitching from Todd Jeffers. James Jones, the starting pitcher for the Royals, in his 4th inning of work, going up against Campbell. And he lines one into right field, and that ball is hit well. That ball is going to go all the way to the wall. Here's Campbell around second. Here's Campbell to third, and he's going to have a stand-up triple. Well, he really tagged that one into deep right field. And now the batter is going to be Dustin Murr, swing and a miss. Well, James Jones, the Kansas City right-hander, gave up 4 hits in the first. But has given up just 2 hits over the last 2+ innings. The pitch. And right back to the mound, and Jones takes care of business. That's a big first out here for Team Alaska. Now Manny Munoz flied to center field to end a 2-run first inning. And that first pitch is fouled back and out of play. 0-1 on Munoz. The pitch outside, 1-1. So Rick Campbell with a leadoff triple to right field. Hoping that Munoz can get him in from third base. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Way outside, and a tremendous play by the catcher, Brandon Adams. And the count is now even on Munoz at 2 balls and 2 strikes, facing James Jones on the mound for Kansas City. Top of the 4th inning, Alaska leads it 2-0, looking for more. And he lifts this one out of play to the right side. The 2-2 pitch. He struck him out swinging. That is the 3rd punch out of the day for James Jones. 2 down in the inning. And now Roundsville batting for the 2nd time. He reached on an error back in the 2nd inning. Curveball is in there for a called strike. It's 0-1. RBI singles by Jeffress and Campbell in the 1st provided the 2 runs for the Team Alaska. The 0-1 pitch. And that one off the outside part of the plate. 1 ball and 1 strike. With Rick Campbell at third base, who led off the inning with a 3-base hit, a long shot to right field. That's in there, strike 2 called, and James Jones 1 strike, 1 out away from pitching out of a runner at third, nobody out situation. He winds, kicks, and deals. And that one just a little bit high, and it's 2-2. And nonetheless, we've got a pretty good pitcher's duel going on here. The 2-2 pitch. And this one is popped up in the center field, coming in, and he will make the catch. Kent Lentz to retire the side. They strand one after a leadoff triple by Campbell. We go to the bottom of the 4th inning. And Kansas City comes to the plate trailing 2-0. This is the 31st annual Men's Senior Baseball League's World Series. We're in the 25 over division Cactus. Swing and a foul. Lentz, Adams, Webb. 1, 2, and 3 in the Kansas City lineup for Ned Yost's team. And that was a 3rd strike, and Johnson got him at first base. How about that? That was a sensational play. That one goes 2-3, and I'll tell you, you talk about Jerome Johnson getting out of the batter's box area as quickly as he did and made a perfect throw, and there was a bang-bang play at first base. So there's 1 down for Adams, who had a base hit back in the 1st inning, the only hit of the day for the Kansas City Royals. This is the 4th inning of work for Todd Jeffress. Well, we've seen a couple of Webb gems. One by Kent Lentz, another one by Kevin Johnson. And after failing to corral that 3rd strike, as Adams the only guy to be on base for the Royals here today, and he's done it twice. And now Jackson Webb. He was robbed by Kevin Johnson on that great play back in the 1st inning. He swings and lifts one into right field, and that's a base hit, and they are at 1st and 2nd. Next up is Jason Zudell. Todd Jeffress kicks and deals, and that one is lifted in the air, right field, and the ball is going to be caught. So racing in, the left fielder, Brady Longren. I was right the first time. Brady Longren, the right fielder. That was a very big out for Team Alaska, and now Andy Garza, who bounced out 3rd to 1st back in the 2nd inning. He grounds one to shortstop, and the fielding play will go to 2nd. side retired. 4 innings in the book. It's still Alaska 2, Kansas City nothing. This is APNvideo.com. Heading now to the top of the 5th inning, and Alaska will be sending up Brady Longren to start things off. And unless they add someone to the bottom of the order, Kevin Johnson, Eric Cooper to follow. 5th inning of work for starter James Jones. And here's a shot out in the center field, base hit. So Brady is aboard. Good piece of hitting. The 7th hit of the day for the Team Alaska, who lead it 2-0. We go back to the top of the order, and second baseman Kevin Johnson. Not to be confused with the great point guard of the Phoenix Suns for many years, Kevin Johnson. 2 runs, 7 hits, no errors, 4 stranded. The totals for Alaska: Kansas City, no runs, 2 hits, 2 errors, and they've stranded a couple. They've stranded 3 altogether. That's our top of the 5th inning totals. Both starting pitchers are in. Both starting pitchers doing a fine job. But a leadoff single by Longren has Kevin Johnson up there looking for his first hit of the day. Coming to you from Surprise Stadium, the winter home of the Texas Rangers and the Kansas City Royals. Jeff Lowry with you, APNvideo.com. There's a swing and a miss, and strikeout number 4. Well, James Jones, after 2 were out, then he got into some hot water in the first, but since then he's been pitching lights out. And he has just got another out here as the shortstop makes a play on Eric Cooper, 2 down. Zach Peak is 2 for 2 at the plate, the starting shortstop for Team Alaska. And he takes the first pitch outside, ball 1. He singled in the first, he singled in the third. Alaska with 2 runs on 7 hits. We're in the top of the 5th inning, and they lead it 2-0. Not a bad looking pitch. It was a bit outside, 2-0. Good call by the home plate umpire. Jerome Johnson, the cleanup hitter, on deck. And that is a called strike. That looked like the same pitch the previous location. 2-1 the count on Zach Peak. That's on the inside corner, 2-2. 2 out. Alaska trying not to waste a leadoff hit for the 2nd inning in a row. They did that last inning. And that one's rifled foul. They did it last inning when Rick Campbell started the inning with a triple. High pop-up into shallow left center field. The left fielder comes on. He's got it. And the side is retired. So after the leadoff single, 1, 2, 3. Halfway through this afternoon affair from Surprise Stadium, Alaska leads it 2-0. This is APNvideo.com. Brandon McCoy to start things off. As we go to the bottom half of inning number 5, it'll be McCoy, McGill, and Rojas. 5th inning of work for Todd Jeffress. He has scattered 2 hits. Here's a high, towering fly ball down the line. The shortstop, a long run, can't make the play. And the count will be no balls, 1 strike on Brandon McCoy. He fouls it straight back, and it's 0-2. The right-hander sights the sign. He kicks, he fires, and it's in the air on the infield. And looks like the pitcher's going to take care of business. It's 0-1 down. Todd Jeffress making the play just behind home plate. 1 down. Here's Chad McGill. He takes a strike, and it's 0-1. Special thanks to Rick Campbell for setting up today's broadcast and letting us kind of fulfill your MSBL World Series experience. That's out of play to the right side. McGill, a strikeout victim. That was back in the second inning. Jeffress has struck out 3, looking for a 4th here, and he got it right down the middle with the good old-fashioned heat. 2 down in the inning, and 4 in a row set down by Todd Jeffress. So next up for the Royals is going to be Jeremiah Rojas. He too a strikeout victim. That is strikeout number 4 for Todd Jeffress. Strikeout 4. And a chopper up the middle, knocked down by the second baseman, and a good effort. That's going to be a base hit. Third hit by the Kansas City Royals comes with 2 out here in the bottom of the 5th inning. And next up is going to be, for the first time batting, Angel Velasquez. Now we got, of the two starting pitchers, both of them, 2 pretty big guys. You don't see a lot of big, tall pitchers out here in this league, but you got 2 of them here, and both of them are pitching a gem. We're in the bottom of the 5th inning. Kansas City at the plate, trailing 2-0. Runner at first, 2 out. Jeffress has scattered 3 hits. He has struck out 4. He has walked 1. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Hit a good cut at that one. Maybe a little too much uppercut. Winner of this game, a pivotal game in this round robin, goes to 1 game over 500. And a swing and a miss, and he just too much fastball there. Overpowered the hitter Velasquez, and we go to the top of the 6th inning. 2-0 Alaska. We'll be back from Surprise Stadium in just a moment. Jeff Lowry back with you. Gale File on camera. Top of the 6th inning. Alaska has not scored since the 1st inning when they played at 2 on 4 hits. Todd Jeffress and Rick Campbell with RBI singles, and they will send the cleanup hitter and catcher Jerome Johnson to the plate. A base hit, a run scored in the 1st, though that was a courtesy runner. Johnson struck out in the 3rd inning. This is the 6th inning of work for Jones, and here's a ball hit the 3rd. Ranging to his left, the high throw corralled nicely by the first baseman, who is now Jeremiah Rojas. 1 down. Next up is the starting pitcher, Todd Jeffress. And he fouls off the first pitch, 0-1. Well, it's trivia question time. Well, it's time to get your baseball thinking caps on. And our scoreboard stumper here in the 6th inning, brought to you by apnvideo.com. 6 left-handed pitchers since 1971 have struck out 300 batters in a season or more. Can you name them? Once again, since 1971, 6 Major League Baseball left-handed pitchers have struck out 300 batters in a season or more. Can you name them? We'll give you the answer in a couple of innings. Well, Todd Jeffress, an RBI single back in the 1st inning. He popped up to the 3rd baseman in the 3rd. We're in the top of the 6th. 1 out, nobody on. Alaska at the plate, leading 2-0. And here's a ground ball up the middle. That's got eyes. That's a base hit. Jeffress is 2 for 3. And the batter's going to be the 2 for 2, Rick Campbell, who hit a long opposite field triple to right field his last time up. 25 and over Cactus Division. Team Alaska leads it 2-0 here in the top of the 6th inning as they look for a few more against the Kansas City Royals and their starting pitcher, James Jones. Here's a ground ball to shortstop. Well played there. 2nd one. Throw it on to 1st. They throw it away. Campbell's going to have to go back to 1st. They make the tag. He should be out. And he is. That's a double play. Well, it goes 6-4 to 2, and the catcher applies the tag. And we go to the bottom of the 6th inning here. 2-0 Alaska. Aaron Levinson, who started the game at second base, takes a called strike. It's 0-1. Todd Jeffress has scattered 3 hits, no runs. This might be a 4th hit, or is it going to be caught by the right fielder? And it is. That is our Marucci. Big play of the game by Lundgren in right field. It doesn't get much better than that. A spectacular play by the Team Alaska right fielder. We've had several Webb gems, but that's the best of them all so far in this contest. And here in the bottom of the 6th inning, Alaska with a 2-0 lead. 1 out, and here's Kent Lentz, who had a little Webb gem of his own back in the 1st inning. What a tremendous play by Brady in right field. That is our Marucci big play of the day. Two 2-0 Alaska, bottom of the 6th inning. Kansas City at the plate. Kent Lentz has flied to center field. He is struck out. Todd Jeffress in his 6th inning of work, the starting pitcher here today for Alaska. He has struck out 5. He's walked 1. He has scattered 3 hits. The pitch. And he just walked his second batter. Well, let's see if the Royals have anything going on here. They've got a very speedy guy at first base. And you might see a couple of tosses over there. Campbell at first base, trying to keep that runner close. He does not go, and the first pitch is low, ball 1. Brandon Adams, the catcher. He is 1 for 1. He has a walk. Runner at first base. Adams represents a tying run, the pitch. And that's out of play, and that evens the count at 1-1. The check of the runner, the pitch to the plate. There goes the runner. It's a high pitch, and Johnson throws it in the center field. Lentz now a late break. Here comes a throw to third, and no chance. That'll be an error on the catcher. Lentz moves to third after the stolen base. They're playing halfway at second and short. Good fastball and a called strike. 2 strikes on Adams. Well, is this a situation, do you give up a run to get the out? I would say with a 2-run lead, it may not be a bad idea. Here's a rocket, it doesn't matter, into left field, base hit. And the Royals are on the board for the first time. It's a perfect day at the plate for Brandon Adams. And the score now 2-1 as the Royals trail by 1. And Jackson Webb, who is looking for his second hit in 3 tries, comes to the plate. He goes after the first pitch and he pops it up. The shortstop is there and he's got it. How big an out was that for Todd Jeffress? 2 down. So Zach Pete getting a big put out for Team Alaska in their defense. 2 down. And the cleanup hitter is Jason Zudell, looking for his first hit of the afternoon. Team Alaska in the navy blue with the gold trim. First pitch, strike to Zudell. Team Alaska in the field. We're in the bottom half of the 6th inning. A run is in. Runner at first base. Zudell represents a go-ahead run for the Royals. And he's quickly behind. No balls and 2 strikes to the hard-throwing Jeffress. The pitch. And he battles him and fouls it off out of play. He digs back in. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And here's the pitch. And he hits a fly ball out in the center field. It's a long run, and that ball's going to be caught. Fine running catch out in center field by Dustin Murr. They get a run, they leave one. And at the end of 6, 2-1 Alaska over the Kansas City Royals. First pitch, line shot, just fouled down the left field line. It'll be Dustin Murr, Manny Munoz, and Rob Brownsville. 0-2 the count on Murr. He was hit by a pitch and he lined out back to the mound in his only 2 plate appearances. That's in the dirt. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Brandon Adams doing the catching here today for the Kansas City Royals, representing the home team. Both teams come in with a record of 1-1. The 2-strike pitch is in the air, and the second baseman's going to go ahead and call for it, and he's got it. 1 down. Angel Velasquez taking over at second base. 1 up and 1 down, and Munoz sends a high fly ball out of play, and it's 0-1. He's looking for his first hit. He grounds one in the hole, knocked down by the third baseman, and there it is, a base hit. That is the 9th hit of the day for the Team Alaska. Rob Brownsville, who batting for the 3rd time, with Brady play of the day, Lundgren, and here's a bomb down the left field line, base hit. Here comes the runner around second to third, and he is going to be in. And Rob has a 2-base hit, the 10th hit of the ball game here in the top of the 7th inning, and Alaska looking to get that run back. And here's the guy who made our Marucci big play of the day last inning, and Brady Lundgren. Brady is 1 for 2 at the plate. Ten hits in total now for Team Alaska, top of the 7th. Again, our trivia question. 6 left-handed pitchers in Major League history since 1971 have struck out 300 batters or more in a season. Can you name them? Give you a hint. 2 of them are Hall of Famers. Here's a drive into left field. Drifting back and making the catch. That's going to be a sacrifice fly. Brady's had an outstanding day for Team Alaska. They get the run back. They gave up in the bottom of the 6th inning and now lead it 3-1. So a 1-out single by Munoz, a 1-out double by Brownsville, and a sac fly off the bat of Brady produces the run here in the top of the 7th inning. And Stephen Wainwright bats for the first time, and he grounds one foul. So Wainwright added to the bottom of the order in a high chopper. Here's a charging shortstop. He's up with it. He throws. He got him at first base. A sensational play by the shortstop to retire the side. But in the inning, a run on 2 hits. They leave 1. After 6.5 innings of play, as we head to the bottom of the 7th inning, it's now Alaska 3, the Kansas City Royals 1. This is the MSBL World Series on APN Sports. Andy Garza going up against Todd Jeffress. Jeffress in his 7th inning of work, 6 innings of 4-hit shutout baseball. He's walked a pair. He has struck out 5. Bottom of the 7th inning, Alaska leads it 3-1. Here's a bomb right down the left field line, base hit. So Andy Garza now 1 for 3, his first hit. That pitch was up in the strike zone, and you start to wonder maybe if Jeffress is starting to tire a bit, getting that ball up in the strike zone. We'll see. He's a gamer, and he's going up against McCoy. And that's ball 1. Wondering if that pitch was low. Umpire didn't give him a response. 1 ball, no strikes to McCoy, runner at first, and in there for a called strike. May have been a make-up call. It happens. It does happen. 1 ball, 1 strike. And bunted foul. 1 ball and 2 strikes. McCoy looking for his first hit of the ball game. And that one is chopped foul at the plate, and the count holds at 1-2 on the right-handed hitting starting first baseman for the Royals here today. The 1-2 pitch. He's staying right on top of that hard fastball. Another 2-strike pitch. Breaking ball, and he fouled that one off. So a good battle between Todd Jeffress and the hitter Brandon McCoy. Jeffress delivers, and it's popped up. This is going to be backing out of play. Well, souvenir time for a young man. Here's the pitch. And a pop-up that the first baseman Campbell will take care of. Well, check that. We got a new first baseman. That's Stephen Wainwright. That's the first out recorded here in the bottom of the 7th inning. And now the batter is Chad McGill, a strikeout victim in each of his first 2 plate appearances against Todd Jeffress. He bunts one up there foul, and it's 0-1. Good pitch, 0-2. He has struck out 5, looking for number 6, and here's a ball hit to the right side, and the second baseman will throw him out at first base. And Team Alaska and everybody's heading to the dugout, but there's only 2 outs. I've never seen this before, where both teams headed back all the way to their dugout and did not realize there was only 2 outs. Well, that's kind of funny. Now Jeremiah Rojas. And very wisely, Andy Garza ran down to second base. He could have scored. He could have scored. Unbelievable. Well, you know what? I think everybody's got to put $1 in the jar now. Yeah. Popped him up. And the shortstop cannot make the play. He drops the ball, and now the throw to the plate is not in time. And it's 3-2. That'll be an error on the shortstop. Boy, I'll tell you, Team Alaska was playing flawless baseball up until that point. No RBI on the play, and now the tying run is on base for Jones. He hits one off the pitcher's glove, picked up behind the mound, and he throws to first, and they said he is out. That was close. Might have to get a review on that one. Kansas City draws to within 1 as we go to the top of the 8th. This is the MSBL World Series on APN. Surprise Stadium, the winter home of the Texas Rangers and the Kansas City Royals, is home to the 31st annual MSBL World Series. I'm Jeff Lowry with APNvideo.com. So a 1-run affair as we go to the top of the 8th inning. And first up, Kevin Johnson, the second baseman, followed by Cooper and Peak. Sounds like a law firm. There's a bunt out in front of the plate. This is the 8th inning of work for Jones, and the throw in time. Fine defensive play by the Kansas City pitcher. That goes 1-3, and out number 1 for Eric Cooper. He swings and hits one foul. 0-1. James Jones has pitched an outstanding game, no doubt about it, and has fielded his position well. Cooper is retired. 2 down. Here's Zach Peete, who singled his first 2 times up. He has flied to left field. He's 2 for 3 with a run scored. He takes inside, ball 1. Well, the answer to that trivia question, 6 pitchers since 1971 with 300 strikeouts or more. The first 2 to do it was in 1971, Vida Blue and Mickey Lolich. Vida Blue, of course, the Cy Young Award winner. A year later, in his first year with the Philadelphia Phillies, Cy Young Award winner Steve Carlton, when he won 27 games after losing 20 games the previous. In fact, he lost 27 games the previous season, if you can believe Steve Carlton lost that many games, with a dismal St. Louis Cardinal team. Clayton Kershaw, Cy Young, Chris Sale, and another Cy Young, and another Hall of Famer. 2 Hall of Famers on that list. Steve Carlton, as that's ball 4, and Randy Johnson, the big unit. And Randy, of course, did it, I don't know, 7 or 8 times in his illustrious career. So a 2-out walk keeps it alive for Jerome Johnson. He's 1 for 3 with a single and a run scored. That was all the way back in the first inning. 2-out runner at first. Alaska clinging to a 3-2 lead here in the top of the 8th inning. Grounded, base hit left field. Johnson keeps it going here in the top of the 8th inning with hit number 11 off James Jones, who has went 7 2/3, and now Todd Jeffress 2 for 3, an RBI hit back in the first. And he got jammed on that one, fouls it straight back, and it's 0-1. Good crowd here on hand. High fly ball out in the left center field. That ball is going to be in there. 1 run is going to score. Here comes Johnson around third, and he is going to score on a long 2-out, 2 RBI hit by Jeffress. He's got 3 RBIs on the day, and it is now 5-2. They enjoy their largest lead of the day. Peake and Johnson score ahead of him. And what a clutch 2-out hit by the starting pitcher, Todd Jeffress. Well, Rick Campbell is going to step aside and give Brock Jordan an opportunity to bat here in the 8th. A 3-run lead, and the pitch is fouled back and out of play. Yeah, a beautiful ballpark. It's been a few years since we've been up here. The MSBL used to play a lot of games up here, and then I think because of travel, it's really out of the way. You're in the upper northwest quadrant of Phoenix, and I think they've dropped both Surprise and Peoria, but because of Maryvale, which has been almost a central hub for the west side, that whole facility, that whole complex is in a renovation stage. That is a strike 3 called, and the top of the 8th inning is over, but Jeffress comes through with a big 2-run double. And now Alaska, as we go to the bottom of the 8th inning, enjoy their biggest lead of the game of 3. They lead 5-2. This is the 2018 MSBL World Series on APN. Aaron Levinson will start it off. First pitch to the second baseman, ball 1. Todd Jeffress, we saw him get a couple of pitches up in the strike zone and thought maybe sometimes that's a sign of getting tired. Well, I'll tell you what, the first 2 he's delivered right now to Levinson looking good and down in the strike zone, as well as that pitch. And the count remains 0-2 strikes. Good hustle out there by Brady and Wright, who has our Marucci big play of the day. Jeffress still throwing with good velocity. Bottom of the 8th inning, Kansas City at the plate trailing by 3. And here's a ball for the shortstop. He got the Sunday hop, and the throw on to first in time. One down. Zach Peak, excuse me. One down, and
no idea.
now we go to the bench and Justin White. Now Kansas City, as we mentioned, 1-1. Currently only have 11 players on their roster, and I will tell you this right now. You're not going to win. You're not going to go deep in the playoffs. You're not going to win a title with 11 guys on your roster. There is absolutely no way. Teams are starting now to come down with major league numbers in their pitching staff. And I really believe if you don't have 9 pitchers, it's going to, unless you guys are a bunch of studs and you can dominate. Most teams need at least 9 or 10 pitchers. Ground ball down the third. Nice play. Gobbled up nicely. The throw on to first in time. 2 down. Next up, the leadoff hitter, Kent Lentz. 0 for 2 with a walk and a run scored back in the 6th inning. Here in the bottom of the 8th inning, Alaska in the field leading at 5-2. They led 2-0 at the end of a half an inning play. They have never been tied nor headed in this game. Strike called to the leadoff hitter, the fine fleet-footed center fielder for the Royals. That's outside. 1-1. He didn't go. High drive. Right center. Long run. Catch made. We're heading to the 9th. Alaska leads it by a score of 5-2. We'll be back in just a moment. And they did it again. They forgot how many outs there were. We're going to the 9th. Alaska up by 3. Dustin Murr will start things off as we go to the top of the 9th inning. Alaska looking for some extra runs here. Up by 3, not a safe amount. And look at Jones coming back out for inning number 9 for the Kansas City Royals, their starting pitcher. It'll be Murr, Munoz, and Roundsville. Longren to follow should we get that far. And Murr swings and hits one straight away center field and right at the center fielder, 1 down. So Lentz takes care of the first batter here in the top of the 9th inning, and the batter's Manny Munoz. Again, special thanks to Rick Campbell for setting up today's broadcast. It's certainly been our pleasure covering this game and coming back to Surprise Stadium, one of my all-time favorites out here. Though I really like Sloan Park. I like the Cubs' new facility. I think Salt River Fields is really spectacular. But there's some kind of charm about, and this was always my favorite, but I think Sloan is my favorite now. There's some kind of a charm about it over there in West Mesa. Munoz a single and a run scored in the 7th. He's 1 for 3. He got robbed on a great play. Had up there the bases loaded, 2 out in the 1st, and he got robbed by the center fielder Ken Lentz. Well, if you weren't with us, let's give you that trivia question answer again. The 300 strikeouts for lefties since '71. As this one is bounced down the 3rd, he got the big hop and he throws it away. And I'm sorry, that's not Munoz. That is Christopher Falke. So Falke is aboard as he reaches on an error by the 3rd baseman. And the batter is going to be Robert Roundsville, who had a double his last time up. And that led to a run because Brady came up next and sac flied Munoz in from 3rd base after the double by Robert. So Falke is at first base, 1 out. Well, Vida Blue, Mickey Lolich, Steve Carlton, Clayton Kershaw, Chris Sale, Randy Johnson. 4 of those 6 won Cy Youngs that year. They struck out 300 or more. Actually, Randy Johnson won 4 just as a Diamondback. And here's a drive, base hit, right field. So Robert is aboard. He's had back-to-back hits. He's been on base 3 of the 4 times. First and second occupied with only 1 out here in the top of the 9th inning. And the batter is Brady. He's hit into a fielder's choice, singled, and a sac fly. 5-2 Alaska, but they're looking for more here in the top of the 9th inning against the Kansas City Royals. Down the line and out of play. He rips one into left center field. That's a base hit. The throw comes back to second. Here comes a throw to the plate. It's not in time, and it's 6-2. Well, I'll tell you what, next to Todd Jeffress, I would have to say that Brady Lundgren has to be given some credit for player of the game honors. Now Wainwright. He rips one into left field. That's a base hit. The runner will stay at third. The bases are loaded. Wainwright, 2 for 2. 2 RBIs for Lundgren. We go back to the top of the order, and we're going to get a new pitcher. So Justin White, the manager of the Kansas City Royals, has seen enough. Bases loaded, 1 out. We got a new pitcher on the mound for the Royals, and it's going to be their catcher, Brandon Adams. So Jones goes 8 1/3 inning. Gives up 14 hits. The run that is already scored in this inning is unearned. Now Kevin Johnson. 6-2 Team Alaska here in the top of the 9th inning. And the first pitch to the Alaska second baseman is high, ball 1. He's looking for his first hit of the day. He is 0 for 4, reached on an error in the first, and was caught stealing. Inside, and it's 2-0. James Jones, well, he gave it a yeoman's effort. That's a strike, 2-1. I'll tell you what, if I'm a pitcher, I'm a right-handed pitcher, and I get that call, I'm staying out there a lot. I think he tried to go right back to it. This is skied to left field. Runner is tagging at third, and he will hold up. That ball just was not hit far enough. Tough day at the plate for a very talented second baseman, Kevin Johnson, usually the big catalyst on this team. Here's Eric Cooper. Alaska's got to be feeling pretty good. Their top 2 hitters are 0 for 9. Not to rub it in on these guys, but they've been able to put some runs up on the board and keep the lead. The runs allowed only 10 through 3 games for Alaska. That is monumental. Another run is in. Head first slide safe. It's a 2-run inning. And it is now 7-2 in favor of Team Alaska. The third baseman. And that ball is going to be thrown away. And boy, I'll tell you, the wheels have come off here. Scoring is Brady. Three runs in, and now the count goes to 8-2. The batter is Zach Peak. He's had 2 hits. He has flied out. He has walked. He has scored twice. And he's played very solid at shortstop. He had one little football, but that was it. I'll tell you, Team Alaska, a lot of resiliency in this game. And the thing that I like, every time Kansas City did something positive, they came back and countered. So that's a stolen base, or is he going to have to go back? I don't know why. Yeah, I was wondering why he was going to have to go back. Eric Cooper. And Peak with a fly ball. He hit it well to center field, but it's going to be caught by Lentz. They get 3 runs and lead 8-2. We're going to the bottom of the 9th inning. It's the MSBL World Series on APN Video Sports and apnvideo.com. Jeff Lowry with you as we go to the bottom of the 9th inning, as we are wrapping up the first day of this 25 and over Cactus Division, the third day, I should say, of the Cactus Division. Well, unless Kansas City has a 6-run home run in their midst, or they can rally, they are going to drop to 1-2. Team Alaska will go to 2-1. This is a very pivotal game for both teams. Not a vital game, but it is very pivotal. Here's a chopper to the right side. The second baseman coming on, and he makes a fine defensive play for out number 1. Kevin Johnson taking care of business, out number 1, and here's the next batter, and he drills one down to first base, picked up by the first baseman, and Wainwright takes it to the bag, 2 down. Now Jason Zudell. So Adams and Webb retired. Ground out second, ground out first. And trying to go the distance is Todd Jeffress. 8 2/3. He's been sensational. Only 5 hits. And strike 3 called. And this one belongs to Team Alaska. And once again, they forgot how many outs they had. The ball game is over, and what a job by Todd Jeffress. He goes the complete game distance. 2 runs, 5 hits, 5 strikeouts, a couple of walks. And along with Brady Longren, the APN Marucci players of the game. The final score from the ballpark: Alaska, Team Alaska 8, Kansas City Royals 2. This has been a presentation of APN Video Sports, Arizona's leader in sports video coverage. So for our entire crew, as Todd Jeffress gets the win, James Jones pitched really well here today. He got in trouble there late. They ended up scoring 5 of their 8 runs in the last 2 innings, did the Team Alaska Ball Club. And our final score here from the ballpark: Team Alaska 8. And the Kansas City Royals 2.